Hello everyone, welcome to the Complete Front-End Development Tutorial Series. We're YOT Technology. We ignite your passion for coding with our dynamic front-end development courses. Dive into the world of web development and unleash your creativity with our hands-on projects and expert guidance. In this tutorial series, I will be covering the fundamentals of web development and the latest tools and technologies used to develop a website, including HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js, and so much more. So stay tuned and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to get updates on our upcoming courses. All right, let's dive into today's lesson where we'll explore the inner workings of the internet and websites. It's a fundamental aspect of our daily lives, yet often overlooked. Understanding how these technologies function will provide invaluable insight into the digital world we navigate effortlessly. Before we embark on crafting remarkable websites and web applications for users to engage with online, it's imperative to grasp the foundational principles of how the internet functions. So, what exactly is the internet? Many envision it as a nebulous cloud, a mystifying entity hovering in the sky. However, this perception contradicts its simplicity. In essence, the internet is similar to a vast network of interconnected wires, facilitating communication between computers across vast distances. Picture a computer in Addis Ababa talking with another in, let's say, Maryland, seamlessly exchanging data through this extensive wire network. Within this network, certain computers undertake a crucial role. They remain online 24/7 to serve users with requested data and files when accessing websites. These computers, fulfilling this role, are known as servers, while the devices users employ to browse the internet are referred to as clients. Think of a web server as a huge library that never closes its doors. Day or night, you can step inside and ask for any website you want to see, whether it's Google's homepage or any other site. The server is always ready to provide you with all the necessary files and data to display the website you've requested. It's like having unlimited access to information whenever and wherever you need it. Imagine if there's a library big enough to store all the websites in the world. It would be quite a challenge to find what you need among all those shelves, wouldn't it? So, how is this problem tackled on the internet? Well, let's say you're at home, browsing on your computer. You decide to visit yottechnology.com, so you type it into your browser. What happens next is your browser sends a message to your internet service provider, ISP. These are the folks you pay to access the internet, like AT&T or T-Mobile if you're living in the US. The message tells your ISP, I want to see yottechnology.com. Then, your ISP passes this message along to something called a DNS server, which stands for Domain Name System Server. Think of a DNS server as a really smart phone book. When you type a website name into your browser, like yottechnology.com, the DNS server gets to work. It checks its database to find the specific IP address of that website. Every computer connected to the internet has its own IP address. It's like a postal address for your computer. This helps identify where data needs to go. Once the DNS server finds the IP address for YOT technology, it sends that info back to your browser. Now you have the exact address of our website's homepage. After your browser gets the IP address from the DNS server, it sends a direct request to that address through your internet service provider, ISP. This message travels via what's known as the internet backbone. This backbone isn't just a fancy term, it's the literal foundation of the internet. You can even check out a website called submarinecablemap.com to see all the underwater cables that keep the internet running. These cables form massive networks connecting users worldwide. If I'm in Addis and want to visit a website hosted in the United States, my request has to travel through one of these cables across the Atlantic Ocean. Once the US computer gets my request, it sends back the data through these same cables. All I rely on in this complex web of wires is that IP address. It's like sending a letter halfway across the world, hoping it reaches my friend or family using just the postal address on the envelope. Once your browser has the IP address, it sends another message through your internet service provider, traveling via the internet backbone to the server located at that address, like 216.239.32.1006 for YOT Technology's website. This server holds all the files you need to view our website's homepage. The server then sends those files back to you through the internet backbone. Voila! Now you will see our homepage. And all this happens in just milliseconds. Just think about the incredible journey your data takes, zipping around the world thousands of times each day. So why not try it yourself? Open up your browser, Type in any website you want to visit, hit enter, and watch as the website gets served up to you through the internet. It's like witnessing a digital world tour, all with the click of a button. Now that we've delved into how the internet operates, let's unravel the inner workings of websites. What's the deal with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? Well, to access a web page, you need a browser, right? Whether it's Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or your preferred choice, these are all software tools that fetch the IP address of your desired website and retrieve the data needed to craft those visually stunning web pages we love. Typically, the data received from the server comprises three key file types: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Chances are you're familiar with these files because they're incredibly common and crucial to website functionality. But why are there so many different types? And why can't we just use one file for everything? Well, each file actually serves a distinct purpose. Think of the HTML code file as the architect of your website's structure. If a website were a house, HTML would be the builder laying down the walls. Essentially, it establishes the framework of your digital space. When you write HTML code, you're essentially crafting the blueprint of your website. Whether it's adding an image, a button, or a text box, HTML empowers you to sculpt the layout and essence of your site with precision and creativity. The next type of file you'll encounter are CSS files, short for cascading style sheets, and they're all about giving your website its visual flair. Think of CSS as the interior decorator of your digital space. Just like decorators add color to walls and choose stylish accents for a home, CSS defines the colors, fonts, and layout of your website. With CSS, you can specify that your buttons should be vibrant red with crisp white text in a sleek Arial font. Or you can create a calming blue background with elegant serif fonts for your paragraphs. It's all about tailoring the appearance of your site to match your unique style and preferences. Now let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle: JavaScript code. This is the magic that brings your website to life, giving it functionality and behavior. If we compare it to building a house, JavaScript is like the electrician who wires up the lights so they actually switch on, or the plumber who ensures you can enjoy a refreshing shower. Similarly, JavaScript code empowers your website to perform actions and interact with users. Whether it's validating forms, creating dynamic content, or enabling interactive features, JavaScript adds the spark that makes your website dynamic and engaging. Let's use the YOT Technologies website as a case in point again. When we receive the files from the server, our browser loads up the HTML files, revealing the website's structure. We see the logo image, 2 buttons, and a search text box. Then, as the CSS files kick in, they transform the appearance of these components according to YOT's design. Suddenly, the buttons and images take on the sleek look intended by YOT. Finally, with the addition of JavaScript files, the website gains functionality. It becomes more than just a static display of images and text. It can now interact with us, responding to our actions and queries. All right, team, let's kick things off with a bang. But before we dive into the exciting world of web development, let's make sure we're geared up and ready to roll. I'll guide you through a couple of essential tools that will be our trusty companions throughout this journey. There are 2 heavy hitters we'll be relying on: the Chrome browser and the VS Code text editor. With these powerhouses at our disposal, we'll conquer mountains of code and unlock endless possibilities. As we progress through the course, tackling more advanced concepts like command line wizardry and database mastery, we'll add more tools to our arsenal. But for now, let's focus on getting these 2 fundamental applications up and running. Now, some of you might already have Chrome installed, but if not, fear not. Just glance down at the description below, where you'll find a handy link waiting for you. Give it a click, watch as your browser springs to life, and embark on the journey to download and install Chrome. It's a breeze, really. The process is as simple as pie, with step-by-step guidance to ensure a smooth installation experience. Now that you've got your hands on the browser of your choice, it's time to level up with a top-notch code editor. There's a whole galaxy of options out there, from the sleek sophistication of Atom to the powerhouse capabilities of VS Code, Sublime, Brackets, and beyond. The beauty of it all? At its core, all you really need to write code is a trusty text editor. Sure, you could technically make do with something as basic as Notepad, but let's be real. The limitations are real. Notepad's simplicity pales in comparison to the arsenal of features and tools that these specialized code editors bring to the table. So, let's talk about my go-to code editors, VS Code and Atom. These two gems are always in my toolbox, and I rely on them day in and day out. In the course videos, you'll catch me rocking VS Code, but hey, if you've already pledged your allegiance to another editor and you're riding that wave of familiarity, by all means, stick with what works for you. However, if you're open to suggestions and want to ride the VS Code train with me, I wholeheartedly recommend you give it a try. Best of all, it won't cost you a dime. Simply fire up your trusty Chrome browser, punch in VS Code into the search bar, and voila, you'll be greeted with a treasure trove of search results. Opt for the first link that catches your eye, and without further ado, hit that irresistible Download for Windows button. And fear not, if you're rocking a different operating system, just click the drop-down menu and take your pick. Once the download is underway, sit back and relax as VS Code makes its way to your computer. Now, I've already got VS Code cozy on my system, but for those of you embarking on this installation journey, here's what you do next. Navigate to your trusty Downloads folder. A quick double-click on the setup file will whisk you away to the installer window. Before you know it, you'll be on your way to unleashing the magic of VS Code on your machine. Once the installation is complete, brace yourself for the grand reveal. A shiny new VS Code window awaits. But wait, there's more. The true power of VS Code lies in its vast array of packages. With over 10,000 packages at your fingertips, you'll find a treasure trove of tools and enhancements crafted by fellow programmers to elevate your coding experience. Get ready to dive in, customize, and supercharge your VS Code setup for the ultimate coding adventure. Behold, the curated list of must-have VS Code packages that will take your coding game to the next level. These recommendations are the cream of the crop, hand-picked to optimize your coding experience. Ready to dive in? Simply launch VS Code post-installation, navigate to the extensions bar, and let the magic begin. Just type in the keywords, and like magic, the perfect match will appear before your eyes. With a swift click of the Install button, you'll be well on your way to supercharging your editor. Once you've decked out your VS Code with these essential packages, they'll be neatly displayed right here for easy access. Armed with your trusty editor and the Chrome browser, you're all set to embark on our next adventure, where we'll delve into the exciting world of coding and website building. So, join me in the next lesson, and remember to smash that like button and hit subscribe to stay tuned for more epic content.